Picture this. It's 66 million years ago. A 10-kilometer asteroid has just slammed into the Yucatan Peninsula with the force of 10 billion atomic bombs. The impact unleashes a shockwave that circles the globe twice. Wildfires rage across continents. The sky turns black with debris. Temperatures plummet. Every dinosaur documentary tells you the same thing. The dinosaurs went extinct. But here's what they don't tell you. Some dinosaurs survived. Not just survived the initial impact. Survived for years, maybe even decades afterward, fighting, hunting, breeding, in a post-apocalyptic nightmare that makes any Hollywood disaster movie look tame. This isn't speculation. This is written in rock, and the evidence has been hiding in plain sight for over 30 years. I'm about to show you the survival story that rewrites everything you thought you knew about the extinction event. Stay with me. In 1992, a paleontologist named David Fastovsky was digging in the Hell Creek Formation in Montana, one of the richest dinosaur fossil beds in the world. He was looking for evidence of the extinction boundary, that thin layer of rock that marks the day the asteroid hit. And he found something that shouldn't exist. Dinosaur bones. Above the extinction line, not just one bone, multiple specimens. Hadrosaur leg bones, Triceratops fragments, even a partial Tyrannosaurus vertebra, all of them found in rock layers dated to after the impact event. The scientific community's response? They largely ignored it. Why? Because it didn't fit the narrative, the clean story, the comfortable story where all non-avian dinosaurs died instantly, and only small mammals and birds survived. But Fastovsky wasn't alone. Over the next 3 decades, paleontologists found similar evidence in New Mexico, in the Dakotas, even in China. Dinosaur fossils consistently appearing in post-impact rock layers. The evidence suggests that some populations of dinosaurs, particularly the megaherbivores and their predators, survived the initial catastrophe and lived on in an Earth that was actively trying to kill them. So what happened? How did they survive? And more importantly, why didn't they make it? Let's rewind to Impact Day. You're a Triceratops grazing in what's now Montana, about 3,000 kilometers from ground zero. Hour 1, you feel the ground shake, a rumble like nothing you've experienced in your 20-year life. Birds take flight in massive flocks. Smaller dinosaurs scatter. You're confused, but not panicked yet. Hour 2, the shockwave arrives, trees bend. The air pressure changes so dramatically your ears would pop if you could understand the sensation. A hot wind rushes past you, smelling of sulfur and burning rock. Hour 4, the sky begins to change. A red glow appears on the horizon. Not sunset, but the reflection of global wildfires. Debris ejected from the impact site is starting to rain down, heated to over 1,500 degrees Celsius. The smaller pieces burn up in atmosphere, but larger. Chunks, some the size of cars, are hitting the ground like artillery shells. Hour 8. Your world is on fire, not metaphorically, literally. The radiant heat from re-entering debris has ignited every tree, every bush, every patch of dry grass across North America. Animals are fleeing in every direction. You hear the death screams of creatures you've lived alongside your entire life. Hour 24. The firestorm has passed, but now comes something worse. The sky has turned completely black. Ash and debris have created a shroud around the entire planet. Temperature is already dropping. You can see your breath. Hour 72. It's freezing. You're built for warm climates. Your body wasn't designed for this. But you're a 10-ton animal with thick skin and fat reserves. You're suffering, but you're alive. The smaller dinosaurs, the ones that couldn't maintain body temperature, already dead, frozen corpses littering the landscape. But you and others like you? You made it through the first test. Here's where it gets truly horrific. The asteroid impact ejected so much debris into the atmosphere that it blocked out the sun. Not for days or weeks, for years. Scientists estimate that global light levels dropped to less than 1% of normal. Photosynthesis essentially stopped. Within months, plants began dying. Not all at once. That would have been almost merciful. Instead, it was slow, progressive. The ferns went first, then the flowering plants. The conifers held on longer, but even they started to fail. You're a Triceratops. You need to eat about 200 kilograms of vegetation every single day to survive. But now, there's almost nothing. The landscape looks like something from a nuclear winter, gray, lifeless, covered in ash. So, you adapt. Fossil evidence from post-impact layers shows unusual wear patterns on hadrosaur teeth, suggesting they were eating materials they normally wouldn't touch. Bark, dead wood, possibly even bone to get calcium and minerals. They were eating anything they could digest. The same goes for Triceratops. Examination of fossilized stomach contents from this period shows they consumed twigs, roots, even fungi, foods that normally made up less than 10% of their diet. But here's the real kicker. While you're starving, something else is watching you. The predators. Tyrannosaurus rex, the apex predator. 9 tons of muscle, bone, and teeth. In the pre-impact world, T-Rex was selective. Why waste energy hunting when prey was abundant? They could afford to be picky, targeting weak or isolated animals. But now, everything has changed. Post-impact T-Rex behavior, inferred from bone trauma patterns and fossilized trackways, suggests they became desperate, more aggressive, more willing to take risks they would have avoided before. There's evidence of adult tyrannosaurs fighting each other, deep bite marks on skull fossils, infections from combat wounds. Territory disputes weren't about mating rights anymore. They were about survival, about who got access to the limited food supply. And their prey? Getting weaker by the day. Imagine being that Triceratops again. You're malnourished. You've lost nearly 30% of your body weight. Your movements are slower. You can't defend yourself the way you used to. And one freezing morning, you smell something. Carrion? No. Worse. Another Triceratops, recently killed, and standing over it, a Tyrannosaurus, ribs visible through its skin, eyes sunken from starvation, but still very much alive, still very much dangerous. It sees you. Now here's the nightmare scenario that the fossil record actually supports. These post-impact tyrannosaurs weren't just hunting, they were pack hunting. Trackways from Hell Creek Formation show multiple large theropod trails moving together, something adult T-Rex rarely did before the impact. But now, cooperation meant survival. You're surrounded, weak, alone. This is how it ends. But your death isn't the end of the story, because some dinosaurs kept going. The fossil evidence suggests that populations of megaherbivores and their predators persisted for 5 to 10 years after impact. Some estimates go even higher, up to 30 years in isolated regions where conditions were slightly more favorable. Think about what that means. Entire generations of dinosaurs born into a dying world. Juveniles who never knew what Earth looked like before the sky went dark. There's evidence of Edmontosaurus breeding in the post-impact period. Nesting sites dated to 2 to 3 years after the extinction event. These animals were trying to rebuild, to continue. But the mathematics of ecosystem collapse were working against them. With plant life decimated, the herbivore populations couldn't sustain themselves. And as herbivore numbers dropped, predator numbers followed. It became a death spiral. The last tyrannosaurs likely starved to death, or died from injuries they couldn't recover from, their immune systems compromised by malnutrition. The last Triceratops probably died alone, too weak to breed, watching a world that had no place for them anymore. And then, maybe 10 to 30 years after that asteroid hit, the last non-avian dinosaur drew its final breath. No Hollywood ending, no sudden catastrophe, just a slow fade to black. So, why don't documentaries tell this story? Because it's complicated, because it's uncomfortable, because people want simple narratives. Asteroid hits, dinosaurs die, mammals take over. But the truth is messier. The truth is that the dinosaurs fought back. They adapted. They survived longer than they had any right to. Some of them saw their children grow up in the post-impact world. They just couldn't survive long enough. This matters because it changes how we understand extinction events. It's not always instantaneous. Sometimes it's slow. Sometimes species hang on for years or even decades after the initial catastrophe, fighting for survival in a world that's already moved on. And that has implications for today. We're in the middle of what many scientists call the sixth mass extinction. Species are disappearing at rates not seen since the dinosaurs. And like the post-impact dinosaurs, many species are hanging on in increasingly hostile environments. The question is, Are we watching the first generation of Earth's next major extinction? Or can we change the story this time? The survival story of the post-impact dinosaurs has been hiding in the fossil record for decades. Only now are we developing the technology and scientific understanding to read it properly. Every year, new discoveries are emerging, better dating techniques, more precise geological analysis, and the picture keeps getting clearer. The dinosaurs didn't go gentle into that good night. They fought, they adapted, they survived as long as physics and biology would allow, and that makes their story not just a tragedy, but a testament. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, hit that like button. This kind of deep dive paleontology content takes weeks to research and produce, and your support directly tells YouTube to show this to more people who love real science. Subscribe if you want more stories that go beyond the surface-level documentaries. I've got videos planned on the asteroid impact itself, the creatures that actually survived and thrived afterward, and the evolutionary chain that eventually led to you and me standing here 66 million years later. Drop a comment. What aspect of the extinction event do you want me to cover next? The immediate impact, the survivors, the evolutionary aftermath? The dinosaurs' story ended. But the story of life on Earth, that's still being written. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.